everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. I hope today has been treating you well. In today's video, I've got a bag of goodies from Primark. I went in, I was browsing, I completely got sucked in with a new SPF primer, foundation. What else have we got? A blush trio, a cream bronzer. We've got a load of stuff, a load of new makeup, all from Primark, all affordable, all cruelty free. We're going to be getting into that. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie. I post at least 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday, but it's always more often than that because I get overexcited about makeup. I would love it if you would subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these full face of Primark makeup videos. But let's just dive on in. I do have the receipt, so I can tell you how much I paid for everything. I did also get, and I'm not going to be able to try it today because it's a micellar water, but I will leave it down below. I'll try it at the end of the day. I'll leave it down below what I think of it. This is the PS micellar cleansing water with vitamin E and organic rose water. This is a huge bottle and it cost me £2, so if this is good, it could be a staple in my routine because I just get through so much micellar water. So I'm going to put that just there on my table and I will try that later. And let's just get everything out first. So first up is the PS Sun SPF 50 Sun Gel Primer. This is SPF 50 in a primer. Like, I'm so interested by this. This cost me £5. I will say everything was just a little bit sticky. it was the end of the day. They were doing the announcements to be like, come on now, we're closing. So it was like the end of the day. Everything was very, I mean, as you would expect, people just absolutely trash Primark, but everything was sticky, like all of the boxes and things. So this looks great. Oh, watermelon fragranced. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a big fan of a fragrance, but let's see. So all it says on the front is invisible shield and matte skin finish with vitamin E watermelon fragrance. This is 30 millilitres of product, so it's like a fairly standard amount of product. It's got a seal, love that, so I know no sticky fingers have been in the actual product. Love that. So let's see. Oh, it's, I don't know why I was shaking that because this is a very thick silicone looking gel. I mean, it says it's gel. It's almost got a yellow tint to it. That's not what I was expecting. Whew. That is highly fragranced, but this just feels like pure silicone. Really like slippy and silicone-y. I'm not sure I love that. Oh, I don't think I like the feeling of that. That is, you can't see anything because it's a clear gel, but that feels really thick and silicone-y and like it's not going to sink in. I don't even know what I could compare that to. That feels awful. No, I don't love that. The fragrance is really strong with that as well. Really, really strong. Oh, I don't think I like that. Oh, that's making me feel a little bit queasy. I really don't like the smell of that. And now that that's like sinking in, that feels really dry on my skin as well. And I know it says that it's a matte finish and it does look matte, but I don't like the feeling of that. I might have to pass that on to somebody. I don't think I'm going to use that. I really don't like the feeling of that. I think if you had oily skin and you wanted something that was quite mattifying, you would probably like that, but I don't like the feeling of that. And the smell is just too much. So I'm just going to quickly move on to the foundation. This is the Airbrush foundation, full coverage, weightless, infused with hyaluronic acid and vitamin E. Now this was £6, so this was the most expensive product in my little haul here. So this is what the bottle looks like. Is this meant to be a dupe for a Charlotte Tilbury foundation? I'm not sure, honestly, but like the writing, the font and everything looks very Charlotte Tilbury. Then it's got a pump on the top. Let's see what this colour looks like. Oh, honestly, that doesn't look a million miles off. That does not look bad at all. Like, at all. I thought that this was going to be way too dark, but that actually looks like it could be okay. I've got a sponge here because honestly the like full coverage, whatever it said on the front, I was like, well, I don't need that. So let's just see how this blends out over the top of that primer with a sponge. That is a great colour for me though. I mean, that could even oxidise a little bit and that would still be okay. Okay, Primark. Okay, so that was like 2 pumps and I feel like it does look matte, but also I've used that matte primer underneath it, so I'm like, a different primer could maybe add a little bit of glow to this. I really like that foundation. And it was £6. Oh my goodness. I think that looks so nice. And like I say, I used 2 pumps. I used a sponge, like a lot of it has soaked into my sponge, obviously. I wanted that to happen. But I feel like we're not getting a full coverage, but we're getting like a medium coverage. You can still see some of my freckles, but not all of them. I don't have any sort of active breakouts or anything on my skin at the minute, so I don't really have, and like the redness was, my skincare routine has been doing me well recently, so I didn't have a lot of redness to like cover over. But I really like the look of that foundation. Let me get a mirror. I feel like I need to look at this real close up. Yeah, it looks a little bit dry in some places, but I really do feel like that's the primer. I really don't like that primer. I love that it's SPF 50, but I don't love the finish of that. I feel like this foundation on very well moisturised, primed skin will look beautiful. I really like that though. Like I say, on a different primer, on a different base, that foundation will be beautiful. So I've got a concealer here that cost me £2.50. Like, if we're talking affordable, this is the most affordable concealer. So I got this in the shade 03 Vanilla. I'm hoping it's going to be nice and brightening. This is just liquid concealer. PS, my perfect colour, liquid concealer. Medium coverage with caffeine and vitamin E. So this is what the packaging looks like. Again, just what you would expect from a Primark concealer. It's just got a regular sort of a wand, and I mean, I've already put that foundation around my eyes. That's not as bright as I was hoping for. I do like a really bright under eye though, so let's just try. I feel like that wand is quite small, the actual applicator. Like, I would probably have to dip in a few times to get the amount of product that I wanted, but let's see how this blends out. Okay, so I feel like the concealer is grabbing a little bit and looking a little bit flaky, flapjacky. Not my favourite, but also that primer was very, very matte. So again, I feel like I'm gonna have to try all of these products again without that primer, because I feel like I was just messing everything up. It's looking a little bit dry, and it was like grabbing to a few little dry patches, but also I didn't help myself out with that primer, so I'll report back. I did get a cream bronzer. I've got a hair that's tickling my nose. It's a cat hair. Oh, that was really tickly. I got a cream bronzer. This is the PS Bronze Whip Velvet Finish Whipped Cream Bronzer for healthy looking radiant glow. This was £4.50, and I'm only just realising that this is actually, I think they had different shades, and I got Cookie. Do we think that there were ones lighter than that? Probably. I've only just realised that it says that on the bottom of it, but as you can see, everything was just a little bit sticky, a little bit dirty, a little bit icky. So at least it's got a seal on it. Not that I can find the edge of it, but this won't have dirty little fingerprints in it, so that's good. I've made a mistake here, haven't I? I've made a big mistake here. I didn't realise that there were different shades, and that is not a bronzer shade for me. I'm gonna use it, but I'm gonna use it very, very, very lightly. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? So, the tiniest little bit. I do feel like that's lightened a little. I'm so scared. Yeah, the lightest hand. One dip for my whole being will probably be sufficient, but let's see how this is going to blend over all of this. Okay, actually that shade wasn't as scary as it looked straight out of the tub there. I mean, I'm definitely using a light hand, and I've definitely just got too much on the sides of my snoot, but that was not as scary, intimidating as I thought. It's sort of like a medium amount of pigment. That hair is back on my nose. Honestly, why do I have cats when I'm so allergic to their fur? The colour is very blendable, so I managed to sort of use that one little dip and do my whole face with it. Really creamy. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily noticing that it's whipped or whatever it said. What did it say? Velvet Finish Whipped Cream Bronzer. It does just sort of feel like a regular cream bronzer. I really, really like it though. It's a really nice, warm, bronzy colour. You know how sometimes you get ones that are more of like a contoury bronze? This is definitely just adding a nice warmth to my skin. I probably picked up the wrong colour, but that is adding a nice amount of colour to my skin. That wasn't as intimidating as I first thought. So I've got a blush trio. This is the PS Cream Matte and Shimmer blush, and this was £4.50, and again it's got a little protector thing over it, so get into that. Were there different shades of this? I don't know. But I got the one that looks a little bit like this. So this is the cream, a matte, and then a shimmer. I think I'm gonna just stick with the cream one today. I do feel like this would benefit from having a mirror. Like that could be a really decent sized mirror in there. So I'm going to dip into there again, just quite lightly. That's a really, really nice colour. We all know how much I love a really great blush. And that one is beautiful. I need to blend. I need a little bit more on this side. But that is a beautiful colour. I really, really like that blush. That colour is beautiful. It looks really nice and like juicy on the skin. I love that a lot. And it's got the matte and the shimmer in there as well, which I'm going to use on the eyes. But I'm going to just go off and do my brows because I didn't get anything from Primark for my brows. So I will be right back when I've got some brows on my head. Okay, so brows are on, and like I say, I'm going to just use a little bit of like the powder and the shimmer from the blush palette for my eyes because I don't think they had any eyeshadow palettes, and if they did, they weren't ones that I was interested in anyway, so I thought I may as well just use these. So I'm just going to use a fluffy brush and go into the matte blush shade, which granted is quite light, but we can make it work. So let's just wiggle that backwards and forwards through the crease, a little something like that. I'll also put that under my eyes. I'm gonna just use my finger for the shimmer. Ooh, I keep doing that thinking that there's gonna be a mirror in there. There's still not a mirror in that palette, so just take a little bit of that. Yeah, that's a really nice eyeshadow. See, for me that is too shimmery from the face, but beautiful as an eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna tap that right in across my eyeball, and then that mascara. I'm quite excited about the mascara actually. And the mascara in question is the PS Role Model mascara, and I basically got this one because it was the only one that wasn't just for lengthening. I like a really thick volumized sort of a lash, and this was the only one that said anything about volumizing. So it says on the bottom, volumizing, lengthening, lifting, defining and curling mascara. This was £2.50. So this is what the packaging looks like. I didn't manage to get the plastic off, so I just sliced it with a pair of scissors, real safe. And the wand is really curved. It's a plastic bristle wand, so we've got bristles of varying lengths, and let's just see how this goes. I will do one coat on one side and two coats on the other. First swipe though, like literal first swipe, the curve of that wand is hugging my lashes really nicely. Okay. I really like this mascara. I really like it, but it's not as volumizing as what I would usually go for. It looks really defined. Like this is one coat and this is two, and this is on the bottom lashes as well. I really like the way that that looks. It's really like The brush has really separated the lashes out beautifully and lengthened them. It's not as thick and volumizing as what I would usually go for, but I like how that looks. It looks more natural, fluttery, wispy than what I usually go for. If you like a natural, lengthened, fluttery, wispy lash, you will probably really like this mascara. Obviously, I can't talk about how long it's going to last or anything like that, how much is going to transfer, all of that stuff. I also can't really do that today because it's already like 7 o'clock in the evening, but I think first impression, that looks really nice, and the second coat has definitely like added a nice little extra amount of volume. I really like it, so I'm just gonna even myself up on the other side. So this is the PS lip liner lip pencil, and this is in Foxy Nude. I really like this lip liner. It's just a great basic nude, and it only costs £1, so I've already got a little bit of lip balm on. I'm just gonna squiggle this over, and that is me done. I would love to know, have you tried any of these new products? What do you think of them? What do I think of everything? So the primer is basically a big no for me. I think if you had oily skin and you don't mind that slippery, silicone-y sort of feeling, I really don't like that. It freaks me out internally. But if you don't mind that, you would probably think that this was fine and I'm just overreacting, but really don't like that. I'm gonna see if somebody else wants that because I really don't love it. The foundation surprised me. Foundations are foundations, but that's a really nice one. It does look more matte over the top of that matte primer, but I will try it over just regular skin, not over the matte primer, probably just over more of a dewy primer, and I'll report back on that one. The bronzer I really like, after thinking that that was gonna show up as like mud on my face. That looks really nice. Doesn't have any sort of scent to it. I thought then that I could smell something. Maybe it's just the leftover watermelon from that primer. The blush I really love. Obviously I've only used the cream on my face, but the powder and the shimmer on the eyes, beautiful. I don't know how much I would use that shimmer on my face. The matte I would 100% use on my face, but the shimmer was quite shimmery and I just don't know if I'm necessarily about that. The mascara, love. Again, I will report back on if that is actually like long lasting, transfer proof, etc, etc. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Sometimes you can tell on like first impression if something's not gonna last very well, if it feels almost sort of oilier and stickier as you're applying it. I'm not getting that vibe from this one, but I will report back on how I like that one. And I would love to know, is there anything that you've tried from Primark recently that you think I need to try? I was looking for the bronzing drops, not that I need the bronzing drops because I've got the e.l.f. one and I've got the Revolution ones. I don't need another bronzing drop, but I was looking. And my local Primark didn't have them, so is it worth picking those up? Is it worth me, I was about to say going to a different Primark. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drive to a different city just to go to Primark. But I would love to know, what do you think of all of these makeup products? I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know if you've picked up anything from Primark recently that you think is worth a try. I'm all ears as always. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you would subscribe down below if you want more of this craziness. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.